Hello everybody, this is Kaizen here, and today we're going to be looking at a tutorial on how to make a wither rose farm. This was incredibly fun to film, and I am looking forward to showing you guys this. Now, a few things I want to say. First off, this is not my design. The video that I got this from is down in the description, so do check that out and give the original creator of this some credit there and all that sort of stuff. I have adapted the design. I've changed it slightly in a few different ways, and I do go into those throughout the video. Now, as for the video itself, in the comment section, the pinned comment will give you timestamps of all different parts of this video, so you can skip on to whichever bit you may or may not need. It also has a full list of all the materials that you need to actually build this thing, so you can collect all of those while you're watching or prior to doing the build and that sort of thing. But hopefully this is a pretty encompassing view at the Wither Rose farm, everything from where the Afk platform goes, the drop rates, how to make this thing, and all that stuff. And of course it is all done here in survival on the Tortuga server. This server is one that you can join, guys. In fact, there's over 60 of us now playing on here, which is insane. And if you want information on that, that is also down in the video description. If you're enjoying this series, if you like Minecraft in general, do consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out and is incredibly appreciated. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into today's tutorial. Today's video was voted for by my Patreons. If you're interested in joining my Patreon to support my channel and get some cool rewards and merchandise and that sort of thing, there is a link in the description if you'd like to check that out. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is find one of these portals right here, and if yours is above the void like mine was, I recommend making a little platform below it. Use slabs or something like that so the endermen are not going to be spawning here, as it will get a bit annoying, but this is what we need to find. Now, once we have one of those, these are the materials that you guys are going to need. So I'll leave these on screen for a little bit if you want to pause and have a look, and there's also these as well. Now, these are building blocks, not specific, so you could have, it could be any building block that you like. What I'm going to do, guys, is down in the video description there will be exact numbers on the materials and things that you need. So if you're looking for an exact list, you can look at that. That was just a brief idea to give you, you know, exactly what you're going to be looking at for this farm. Okay, so once all that's done, what I recommend if you're in survival mode like me is getting out your scaffolding and scaffolding up and getting a bit of a work area going around the portal. So I'm going to do that now off cam, and then I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. Okay, so I now have a platform up next to the portal, but I'm still protected underneath by the platform below. That enderman obviously did not spawn there, by the way. He just walked across. So what we're going to do now is we need these 6 dirt, because we're going to place a block here. 1, 2, 3, like that. Then we're going to go up here, so you can use your scaffolding again to get up to the top here, and we're going to place 3 dirt on the top as well. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3 like that. Okay, so now is when we need the red mushroom. We're going to place the red mushroom just about there, and we're going to bone meal it until it grows into a mushroom tree, like this. Okay, so now I need to get rid of, obviously, all the mushroom blocks that are there. What I'm going to do is get rid of them off camera, but before I do that, I just want to get rid of a few of these blocks here, so you guys can see that the portal is now gone. So if I jump down here, where is it gone? Oh, that's where it was, right? So hang on, if I... there. So growing the mushroom, the whole point of that is we just want to get rid of that portal gateway, which we have now done. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, take down the mushroom block, and then we'll move on to the next step of this tutorial. So next up, it's all about getting our chicken stuck in a little container, basically. So how we're going to do that is place a block here, and we place 5 in total. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. I actually have to get rid of this scaffolding in a second. There we go, very nice. Then we want 3 building blocks here. So these are temporary, these building blocks are not. We're going to use red concrete for ours. You can use anything you like though, of course, guys. So that's how that's going to look. Let me grab this slab up here. So what we can do is place 1 there, 1 there, so we can build up here. So we get up on top of this thing, and where these 3 blocks are here, you want to go ahead and place another block there like that, and another block there like that. And I'm just remembering, actually, we also are going to need an enchantment table. So we've got 2 enchantment tables here that we need. One of them is for this bit right here. So the enchantment table is going to go on this block here, which is the block closest to the portal, or where the portal used to be at least. That's going to go there like that. Okay, if we stand up on top of there, then what we can do is go ahead and place another solid block here, here, and here, with a temporary block going up in a circle. So if we stand up here and jump, place 1 there, on top of the enchantment table, and around like this. Okay, very good. So now we want to get our chicken stuck in here. Now, just to say, these are temporary blocks. This one here is not. So actually, I think what I'll do, I'm going to make that out of a full block. You guys can do whatever you like. You'll see how it looks in just a second anyway. So if we look down here and we keep throwing down our eggs, we're hoping to get lucky here and have a chicken spawn at some point. Please. Oh, didn't hit him. All right, there we go. So the chicken is now spawned there. That is great. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is grab ourselves a half slab. So I think, yep, there we go. Got 1 half slab in here. Obviously, these half slabs I've been using are part of my platform, but as part of the actual mechanism you see in here, you do need 1, and it's for this bit. So what we're going to do is place a slab there, like that. So if you've done it right, half the slab will be showing like half of dirt here, and the rest of it's not. And we can go ahead and get rid of these like this. The other one stays there, and this is all now holding the chicken in place. And in a minute, it'll prevent the wither from killing the chicken. You'll see why that's important in a minute. For now, just make sure you have something that looks a little bit like this. So the final thing you want to do is get back up on here and place double carpets on top of each of these blocks to stop Enderman from spawning in. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we can go in here and place 1, 2. There we go. So now no Enderman will spawn on top of this, and this is how this is going to look. Let me get into F1 mode, just slowly show you this. Hopefully that all makes sense. This is how it will look at this point, and your chicken part of this is done. Okay, so next up we're going to make the item collection system, and the way to do this is go the other side of the portal to your chicken thing, build a block down, 2 like that and like that. These are just temporary blocks, and place the chests here like this, and this is where the items are going to go into. Okay, very good. So now what we want to do is, if I just grab an ender pearl out, we're going to jump up on top here like this, and we want a hopper going down into it just like that. So this is where it's going to be going. Now if I just bridge out here a little bit, you better see this a little bit better. But if you've done it correctly, this is how it all looks. You got your portal there like that. Here's your hopper here. So if we stood on top of that, we'd be here next to these blocks of bedrock just like this. So this is how this bit will look. Now the thing to do now, we're going to need a temporary block placed here and here, and we're going to need to build a pipe going upwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to build mine out of glass. This needs to go up 44 blocks on all sides. The way we do this is just by jumping up, placing like this, of course. But once we get up past the bedrock bits, we actually need to do it on all 4 sides, not just on 2. So what we need to do is have another temporary block here like this, place that in the middle, and this will allow us to come and place blocks around here like this as well. Now later on we can get on the bedrock and place the blocks underneath them, all that sort of stuff. I'll show you that towards the end, but for now this is how it needs to look. So basically you need to go 44 blocks up in the distance. Now the way I'm going to explain this is if we actually just come back down here a second, I'll show you the Y coordinate when I'm stood on this bottom block as opposed to when I'm placed on the top. So there's your hopper. This is the first block of glass. So right now if I press F3, my Y coordinate is 74. You see as I go up there it's going to increase to 75, 76 and so on. So we'll have a look when we're at the top, and then hopefully I'll be able to explain exactly how big the pipe needs to be. Now this pipe can be made out of just about anything. I'm just doing glass because I think it will look cool, and essentially we're going to have Enderman falling down through here and dying. So you'll see all that in the end, but that's why I'm building out of glass, so we can see all of that stuff. Now I recommend that when you're going up here, you have a good elytra with enough rockets and ender pearls and things like that, so you can get back down to your platform, because you are going to need lots of materials. The other thing you can do is what I've done here. I've got all of my building blocks for the platform on me. So when we get up to the top, I'll show you what we're doing in terms of building the platform, but it's just a thought. You might want to bring a lot of blocks with you so you can get on with that. Okay, I think that's everything I need to say before we actually go ahead and build this thing. So let me go ahead and do that now, and then I'll bring you guys back in once we're up there. Okay, so I'm now up at the level where the Endermen are going to be spawning, and that's why I've placed these blocks instead of glass. Now at the moment, if I press F3, you'll see my Y coordinate here is on 118. So before it was on 74. So when I'm stood on the first glass block it was 74, stood on the platform 118. So basically if you do 74 plus 44 blocks, that's how you get to the 118, and that's where we're at. So hopefully that makes that bit clear. That's where your tunnel needs to be. You can see it down there, and this is going to be the start of your platform. So to actually build the platform, we're going to build off 12 blocks in each direction. So this will be the 13th block, and the tunnel hole would essentially be the 14th. So you got the one here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and of course 12. And we're going to do that in all 4 directions. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So you'll then have something that looks like this, a giant cross that is essentially 12 extra blocks, so 13 in total to the tunnel, out on either direction. So what we want to do then is start bridging across like this, and we're basically going to connect up all the extremities of these points. Now in terms of the blocks you can build this out of, let me just keep an eye on where I'm going here. Basically you can use anything that Enderman can spawn on. So any solid block will be fine. Don't use something like, for example, leaves or glass or half slabs unless they're placed at the correct level, because otherwise you won't get Enderman spawning, which is the whole point of this platform. It is an Enderman spawn platform. So basically we connected that corner up like that. Let's do the same for the other 3, and then we'll see how that looks. So when that's done, it'll look like this. You'll have essentially 4 large squares with the tunnel being right in the middle there. Now what you need to do is fill in all of these squares with the solid blocks, again, that Enderman can spawn on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll show you how my platform's looking before we move on to the next bit. So once you have filled in all of those squares, you'll have a platform that looks a bit like this. Now I've just done it out of these different color blocks to add a bit of a pattern to it. You can do it out of any blocks that you like, so obviously that pattern is optional. Now, for the next bit, what we're going to do is get our Endermite set up. So the Endermite is going to be here, the Endermen are going to see it, and they're going to get funneled into this hole right here. So that's how that's going to work. This guy nearly went on his own. So what we need is some blocks to build it off. You see I've got some white concrete. You're going to need a few temporary blocks as well. We're using dirt for that. At this stage, you're also going to need your trapdoors, your name tag, some ender pearls, some rail, some iron bars, some minecarts, well, 1 minecart, and a red carpet. So these are all the things that you're going to need right here for this bit. We start by placing temporary blocks like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1 right there. Then go ahead and place solid blocks up on top of them as building blocks, and they're going to go there just like that. And at this stage, you can actually get rid of these blocks right here as they were just temporary. So you have a little structure that looks something like this. Now we want to go ahead and get up on top here like this, and this is where the carpet comes in. So we can place down a double carpet on top of each of these, and this is basically just going to stop the Enderman from being able to spawn here, right? So if we can get up here and there. Okay, so we've got 2 on each of those that prevent any Enderman from spawning in this area. Very good. Then we can go ahead and place 3 dirt, 1, 2, and 3. It'll stick up like this. And at this stage, we need our iron bar to be placed on top of there, just like that. You can get rid of these things here, so it'll look like this at this stage. Next up, you want to go ahead and encase your iron bar in dirt. So we're going to start with 1 underneath, and then place another one to the side here like this. And then we want 1 placed on each of the 4 sides of the iron bar to really encase it in dirt. And we're using dirt because it's just going to be temporary blocks. Okay, very good. Then we can place 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, here, and again here as well. And we can start building upwards. So this is the sort of shape that we've got. We're building upwards here. We're going to encase this in dirt, so we get all the way around like this. And finally, we'll close it off here like that. So when you're done, you've got it all encased, and this is how it will look. So now we're going to get our Endermite Trapped, and actually recording this for the second time because the first time something unexpected happened, and I'll talk you through that as well. So basically what you want to do, you want to get your rail face down like this. Now, because I'm facing east at the moment, you can see there, this is a good direction to face in because the rail is facing towards the iron bars. If I was facing west, it would be the same thing. So you may want to make your dirt sort of area here aligned to that. If not, there are other ways around it. Of course, you can place another rail behind it to get it aligned correctly and that sort of thing. Anyway, when we're down here, what you want to do is stand on these iron bars and throw the ender pearl. And I found if you throw it in this direction rather than straight down, it actually helps, because what happened to me before was the endermite went down this corner here, and we need him on top of the iron bars. Now, do have your name tag ready. You see I've got that one there, Mighty. I lost it on the first one because he killed me, and this brings me on to another point. I'm going to keep my elytra on in case I need to make a speedy getaway, but I'm going to take all of this stuff off because it has thorns on it. Now, when the endermite starts attacking you, which it will, the thorns could kill it. It happened to me in the first one. So a couple of little tips there. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw it until he spawns. We're then going to get our rail ready, and we're going to immediately place the rail down. Well, sorry, we should name him first. Let me say that very clearly. So Enderpearl, name him, get the minecart down, and get him trapped in the minecart. So I'm going to show you that in practice now, and let's see. Hopefully this works this time. So it could take a few, obviously, until we get one. Now, you will see as well your health does go down pretty quickly with ender pearls. I believe feather falling lessens the damage, but you want to be careful about that, because if you let it get too low and then the endermite does spawn, when it attacks you, it might just kill you. So do be careful with that. Alright, we'll keep throwing until one spawns. Okay, spawned. Alright, so we're going to name him very quickly. There's Mighty. Place the rail down, and he's in the rail. Okay, great. So now what we can do, we can get out of here a second. And you want to be careful that no endermen spawning up on these blocks, because obviously they could kill him. But that's done, okay? So you now have the endermite trapped in there like that, and we're ready to move on to the next stage. And so the next thing we need to do is grab our shovel. I'll get all of my armor back on as well. And we're going to get rid of all of these temporary blocks here that we've placed, all this dirt stuff. We don't need it anymore, so we can do that. You can see the endermen here are, they're not happy, okay? They're already annoyed at this guy. They want to fight him, and there's a lot of them here. Excuse me, my voice went a little bit funny there. So anyway, we get rid of all of these. Okay, here we go. Now, some of these endermen are already starting to fall down this hole because it just works that good. You can see how attractive they are. And what you need to do to speed this up is to grab some trapdoors, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to get in here. Let's see. I need to try and get in. We can push these endermen a little bit. We want basically one trapdoor there like that, and then we open it. I want one there like that, and we open that. Okay, now, oh, okay, I think they all went down. Now, they're not going to spawn here now because I'm too close, so we won't get many spawning. But basically, this is how it's going to work. So the Endermite up there is attracting all of the Endermen. They can see it, but it is protected. There's no way for them to get to it. These carpets here stop them getting on these blocks, all that good stuff. And they're going to run down and get funneled down in here. So that's the Endermite bit done. This is how it should look, guys. Hopefully that's nice and clear. Hopefully, you know, the tutorial was good enough there for you guys to see how to do this. But this is what you should be left with at this stage. Okay, so next up what we need to do is make our AFK platform. And you're going to need to go up 84 blocks. So the best way to do this is what I've done. Really grab yourself a stack plus 20 of scaffolding. These are going to be temporary blocks, so scaffolding works great for that. And if you have a stack plus 20, you know the exact numbers you need to place. So I'm going to place mine around about here. Oh, no, I'm not. Excuse me. I'm going to place mine around about here on the floor, and we're going to go up those 84 blocks. Now, in a second, we're going to climb up this scaffolding and place our AFK platform. Now, do be sure, of course, to take the blocks with you to use for your AFK platform. I recommend glass because A, you can see what's going on below you, and B, it does need to be some sort of block that you're not going to get Enderman spawning on, of course. So up we go, and then I'll have a look and show you guys how to make that AFK platform. So here we are, we're up 84 blocks higher than the platform, which is down there, of course. Now, if you come out a little bit like this, you should be able to just about place a block there. Okay, that's a little bit too high. We want it to go... Oh my goodness. We want it to go just underneath here. Okay, hang on a second. This bit is a little bit tricky because when you're on scaffolding, of course, you can't shift without going downwards. So what we can do, we've got this block on top. If we shift out here, we should be able to get it down there next to the scaffolding. And there we go. Okay, a little bit of a faff, guys. I apologize. But basically in line with the 84th block. I recommend just making a 3x3. So you've got a little bit of space up here to get to. Now, depends how comfortable you are with an elytra, because at the end of the day, to come back up here, you're going to need an elytra. This scaffolding is going to be deleted. So if you want to make it a little bit bigger, make your life a little bit easier to get up here, of course, go ahead and do that. You want a little 3x3. Now, my Y coordinate right there is 202. If I fly back down to this platform, just to you know, help you guys out with getting the things right, the dimensions and things, here's the glass I dropped. You see if I'm stood right here next to my scaffolding, it's 118. So as I say, it needs to be 84 blocks. That's how that's going to work out. At this point, you can just go ahead, get rid of that bottom scaffolding. It's all going to come down, which is why scaffolding is such a nice block to use for that. Things like, you know, sand and that, of course, used to work quite well using the torch. But if you've got scaffolding, why not? So collect all your bits up, and that is the AFK platform in place. And that's where you'll be standing, of course, to get this farm working at full efficiency. And at this stage, that little bit is done. So at this stage, you've got your tower there just about built, and your platform at the top and all the rest of it. And basically, the Endermen are going to be falling down here, and probably at this point, some already will have. You might have some Ender pearls down here. Let's have a look in our chest if we can get rid of that one. There we go. So this is all just from Enderman falling down. So yeah, there we go. We got that. Now, at this stage, you may, if you're like me, want to tidy this up a little bit. So, for example, you could place some extra green glass in up here, for example. So if I go ahead and go up there, just going to tidy this up a little bit, get this looking all nice. But I would say don't worry too much about the bits below this. So this bit here, we'll get this done. But this bit down here, we're going to be placing things in here in a second. So I would say that's fine for now. The only other thing you may want to do at this stage is go ahead and add some extra storage. I've just looked at an Enderman. He's about to come up here. Or potentially not, you can't teleport up here. Good thing about house slabs. Yes, you may want to add some hoppers below with some extra chests. So if you're going to do that, obviously grab your hoppers and your chests. And all you can do, I mean, there's different ways of doing it, but if you just place a chest down like this, well, you're going to want that to be a double chest, of course, so make sure you place that going into it. You place a hopper underneath like that, so you've got a bit of extra storage because this is going to produce a lot. So do as much of that as you like until you've got enough storage that you want, and then you're ready to move on to the next stage where we're actually going to get the wither situated. So the next thing we want to do is place an enchantment table up on top of the hopper, just like that. And what we need to do is get solid blocks all around the edge of this enchantment table. So we can get rid of these two here like this, place a solid block there, solid block there. And we'll go around the other side here, and actually my platform at this stage might be letting us down slightly. Let's just grab a couple of blocks here so we can come out this way a bit and get this done properly. So then we can place a solid block there and a solid block there. So it's literally covered on all four sides with solid blocks. That is obviously very important, so make sure that you do that. And it should look something like this at this stage. Okay guys, here comes the scary bit. As I said before, I'm following someone else's tutorial but doing it in survival mode. And yeah, we're about to spawn the wither in, so this bit we really want to get right. So here's how it's done in the video, linked in my description, and we're going to try and copy it. So basically, this bedrock block right here, you want to go ahead and place a dirt there, you want to place a wall there, and then we get rid of the dirt. So let's get rid of this. Okay, very good. Let's grab that. Now we're going to need our soul sand. Wait, did I even grab that out? Let's grab the soul sand out here. So 4 soul sand. And we're going to place that like this. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the orientation there facing towards this chicken right here. Make sure you have this block here on top of it so that basically the wither cannot see it when it spawns in. Now what I need to do is I'm going to place my heads. So I'm going to place 2 of them, and then I'm going to place the 3rd. I'm going to run up this little makeshift ladder. I'm just going through this so I don't mess it up. And then I've got to place a water right there, which the wither should be in there at that point. And the water needs to be placed prior to the first explosion. Yeah, okay, and then we pick the water up after the first explosion, and then we take down that block there so that it can see the chicken. All right, guys, I'm actually quite nervous. This could destroy a lot of hard work. Okay, wish me luck. Here we go. That's placed. Okay, it should be in. I can't even really look, so I need to come here. Place the water for the first explosion. There we go. Water's placed, and then first explosion is going to come. Think soon. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I need to get rid of that water. Alright, there we go. We'll take that water away. I got it right, yeah, okay. And then this one here. And now it should see the chicken. Oh my goodness, okay. This is genuinely quite nerve-wracking, but it looks like it is now attacking the chicken. I think I've done it correctly at this point. Alright. I'm so genuinely... I really hate the wither, guys, I do. But you can see that my glass is fine. It looks like it is attacking the chicken. I think we're good. Let's move on to the next bit. Okay, so really I think all we need to do now is get the enderman spawning. So just for testing purposes, I'm going to go right up here like this. And let's see, can I land this? No, I'm so rubbish at this. I honestly should have made this platform bigger. You know what? Some ender pearls might help. Oh no, I'm completely lost right now. What the heck? Where are we? Okay, this is pretty scary. Alright, here's my farm. Okay. Alright, so if we fly like this, enderman should be spawning anyway. We should be getting just about right. But getting up to this platform, man, that's tough. All right, can I... Give me a second, guys. Okay, I did it. Now, I highly recommend that if you're anything like me with an elytra, you make the platform a little bit bigger. Yeah, in fact, I don't have any glass on me. I'm going to come up and make this platform bigger at some point. Now, quite a few endermen have been spawning, so really that should be enough just for testing purposes to see if this is working. So if we go down here now, let's see, we want to land up on this platform, and hopefully the wither... How did you get here? I'd better kill you. I don't know how you did that. Can they teleport to scaffolding? Is that a thing? Well, he's gone now. Anyway, let's see. So in our chest, maybe we should have... Yes, we do! We have wither roses! Okay, now, it's not loads, but I've literally just flown up there and come directly back down. So I believe this is actually working. I'm so excited. Woo. This is my first ever wither rose farm. I have to say, it was a fantastic tutorial from Chalkcraft as well, which is why I chose that particular one to use here in my world. Making it a survival is definitely different, but it's not actually as challenging as you might think. So if you're thinking about this, guys, I highly recommend it. This is very, very cool. I'm honestly so happy to have this right now. So yay for that. Okay, so I've been AFK up here now for about 15 minutes. So let's have a little fly down and see what sort of drop rates we're getting. Oh, here we go. And here's the chests. And inside we have, oh my goodness, right, so loads of ender pearls, 52 wither rose, which is what we really care about, right? So that's how many we got in about 15 minutes. So you're looking, it was a little bit less than 50 minutes, so we could probably say about 4 stacks an hour at the moment. However, at the moment, around here, there's a lot of endermen spawning. So one thing we can do is go and place a load of water to get rid of that. The other thing I'm going to show you guys is if you want to filter this and get rid of all the ender pearls, maybe you have an enderman farm or whatever, it's going to clog your storage up quite a lot, right? So we're going to show you how you can use a system in a second to put all these ender pearls into the void, which is one nice thing about being over the void here. Anyway, I'll show you that in a sec. Let me go and get some water placed down, and then we'll take a look at that in a second. Okay, so I've made a few final modifications here. Just to let you know, I've turned the sounds off because it was getting quite loud as I was trying to do this video. But basically what we have here is this hopper here is the one underneath that was previously going into a chest. And I've just added an item filter here and an automatic dropper system as well. I'm going to show you how all that works in a second. Basically, this is how it works though. So from the hopper there, we have a line of hoppers here, which goes into this chest here and into this system right here, which we'll come on to in a moment. But before that, it has to pass through this right here, which is the item filter. And many of you will be familiar with these, but I'm just going to quickly show you in case you are interested. the way this happens is this hopper here is pointing into the comparator there, and you can see the setup we have here. So we have blocks in this arrangement, we have redstone dust on this block and this block, a repeater facing in this direction, of course, into this block, and there's a redstone torch under there, with a hopper there going into the chest, and in this chest is where we collect all of our wither roses. So basically, in this hopper right here, 18 wither roses there, and then 1 in each of the other slots there. And in this one here, you always get 1 wither rose stuck. That's just how it is. So that can be empty when you place it, but you'll end up with 1 in there as they pass through. Then the rest will all go into this chest here, of course, and you're good to go. So that's how the item filter works. So any wither roses are getting caught here, collected in the chest. But we're getting a lot of ender pearl drops from this, which I don't particularly want. So they are moving on down the line. Of course, they can't get through there because they're not wither rose, and they end up in these chests here, and they go down into a dropper system here. Now, let me just, you know what, let me hop into spectator mode for this bit. Okay, so because I got rid of the platform, spectator mode is a lot easier to show you what's happening here. So there's our system. This is the chest here that the ender pearls end up going into, and this is a dropper here facing downwards, going down into the void. So if any ender pearls are shot out of there, they're going to end up in the void, which is the whole point. The chests are merely for backup, so if we do get a bit overloaded, there's a backup system. Now this is a little bit overkill, to be honest, but I'd rather be on the safe side, because otherwise if the whole system were to get clogged up, it could cause a little bit of a problem. So that's why that's there. Now as for these slabs here, the reason I've left them there is so that I can elytra back up and collect my goods. So that's why I've left so many of them here around this system. I can come back up here and get my wither roses nice and easy. So the way this works, what we've got here, coming out from the dropper here, we have a comparator, so that registers if there is any items in the system, and then it powers the observer, which gets pushed upwards, which powers that observer, and it causes a pulse to be sent here to the dropper, and that pulse of course shoots an item out, and into the void it will go. So no clog of ender pearls for us, they all get shot off that way. So it's quite a simple one. This is not my design, of course. I've taken this, I think maybe Sasuma might have been the first one to do this, but anyway, this is not my design, but just making that clear. But it's very effective for what we're doing here, putting all these items into the void. So what I'll do now is I'll go back into normal mode and show you how this works in action. You can see the ender pearls being shot off. I believe I have some on me. I've got 6 on me. It's not a lot, but there we go. Put 6 ender pearls in there, and you'll see they're going to get shot off down here. I think I probably need a few more to show you this properly. Okay, so I've just gone and filled my inventory with ender pearls, and what I'm going to do is put them all in here like this. There's going to be a lot of them. We'll fly down here. This is a good vantage point, and you'll see here the system working. So there is pulse in there. The ender pearls are getting shot out and just falling down into the void. So hopefully enough to catch up, or so that we don't get any clog of ender pearls. I will test that out in a second, but certainly it's going to be much better doing this than not having it and having to have loads of chests for them. So that's how that is sort of working, and I have to say, pretty happy with the way the system works, having the wither roses like that and the ender pearls just chucked into the void in that way. So in order to get better drop rates, if you flood a large area around the farm, that is meant to help, and I think we can safely say I've achieved that. Yes, there's a few little blocks and things there that aren't quite flooded, but I'm reasonably happy with this, and what I'm going to do is test this out again. So we've got our new storage system now, and currently there is, let's take that one up, there's none. There's no wither roses in there. And I'm going to time it for 15 minutes again and see what the difference is. So last time, I believe it was 53. You can check on the video, it'll be there. Oh boy, I'm going to struggle to get to that platform now. I was hoping I'd do that in 2. Alright, I'm going to go up here. Once I land on the platform safely, we'll wait 15 minutes and... Oh, I really thought I had it. Oh, okay. I'm going to do this off cam, and we'll time it for 15 minutes to see how many wither roses we get in that time. And then we can, of course, times it by 4, and I should stop doing this on cam. And we can see how many we get in an hour. Okay, guys, 15 minutes is up. Let's go and check out our rates and see what we're looking at here. Hopefully a little bit better than last time, if our water trick has worked. But yeah, we'll see. We'll find out together here. I have no clue, so this is... Okay, here we go. Okay, they are better, but only marginally, unfortunately. I was hoping they'd be a little bit better than that. But before we had, I think, 53. That time was 64 plus, like, I think, 7 or something, and then I checked the rest in. You guys will see on the video. Not fantastic, but there's something I should mention, because this could be affecting it. Apparently, I've been told this could be having an impact. But over here, we have an Enderman farm running, so apparently that could affect it. Now, I thought I was far enough away. Some people on the server kind of disagree, but as part of this video, I'm just bringing it to your attention because the rates that I'm getting are lower than what is predicted in the Shulkercraft video that I have linked. So it'll all depend. We could also try flooding more of an area around here. That potentially could work. But it's a decent rate. I think I would like to get some more than that, so I am going to play around with it, and I'll see what I can do in terms of improving these rates. But if it turns out to just be that Enderman farm that's issue, there's not much I can do about that. I'm sure in your single player world, if you don't have a giant Enderman farm, this will definitely do a lot better for you guys. But anyway, I'm going to have a little look, I'm going to see what I can do, and the next clip will explain if I've done anything different or not. So, one final look at the drop rates, guys. I flooded a lot larger of an area now, so we've really got that quite down. There's no Enderman here at all, apart from this one little dude on the ledge. So that's really helped. I've also added on a platform. You can see there where the pattern changes, that's all added on. And that's something I think I'm going to extend even more as well, because the drop rates have definitely picked up. This is how much I got from 15 minutes. So I'd cleared this chest out first, and that's what we got. A stack and 3/4. We're getting close to double where we started, which is pretty good. If we can get that to 2 stacks, that's every 15 minutes, then of course that would be times by 4 for the hour. So basically we get to about 8 stacks per hour. I'd be reasonably happy with that as an AFKable rate overnight. And, you know, I think given the multiplayer server, given the fact we have an Enderman farm, that sort of thing, that's not too bad. So what my goal now really is to get a lot more of the red and black concrete and extend that platform out. It's not something I'm going to do today, but I'm just going to mention it to you guys right now. And if you guys want to do that, then obviously you're able to do that. If today's video did help or you enjoyed it, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really is greatly appreciated. And I just want to say thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.